Hi, in this video I want to show you how I produced the Awash song High on Love in my home studio over here. I will give you an overview of the production, I will let you listen to a comparison of the first rehearsal recording of this song and the final track, quite a difference, and I will show you to the mixing project and we'll go over the various elements in the song, and finally we'll go into how the track was mastered, and I'll let you hear the difference between the final mix and the mastered version of the track. So let's go! Okay, in this video I want to talk about the song High on Love by my band Awash, which was just released today, on the same day as this video was released. We started writing and arranging the song in the second half of 2018, so quite a while ago already. And I'll let you hear the first rehearsal recording of the song of December 2018 in a minute. And then we fleshed it out during rehearsals and started the first real recording somewhere in May 2019 and finished it towards the end of the year. The song was a real home production, so everything was recorded in our own home studios. The drums were produced at home by our drummer. The bass player played his bass part at home in his own studio. And the keyboard player also played his keyboard part at home. The electric guitar parts were recorded over here, as well as the acoustic guitar parts that our singer plays, and the vocals. And I also added some string arrangements and samples in the end as extra production elements. I started mixing the song towards the end of 2019. And we had this track mastered together with the other track, Shadow or Sun, that was our previous single release. So let's first have a listen now to the original rehearsal recording in December 2018 and the final master that we're releasing today. So what you're looking at now is a Cubase project in which I have the rehearsal track that was recorded 14th of December 2018 and the final master that we got in May 2020. And I have two marker tracks. One is with some markers for the rehearsal track and the other one is with some markers for the final master, so that we can compare similar versions of the song. So let's first have a listen to how the song starts in the rehearsal track. Now this was recorded on the iPhone of our singer, so the sound quality is not great, but you can get an idea.
Take a lie. Don't take it too far, girl. Your mind must be brighter now that it's gone.
Now if you compare that to the first verse of the song in the master.
Don't hear the noise, silence is here, love. Your mind is so much brighter, sailing through stars.
Okay, let's have a listen to the chorus in the rehearsal track. Now what you'll notice is that the singer does not really have his final lyrics yet, so he's just making them up on the spot.
Betting your tears, staring your heart, I'm betting to feel I'm waiting for love, waiting to drown, bet on your knees.
And now for the chorus in the master track. It's funny because the actual title of the song he didn't sing yet in the rehearsal track, but he will in the master track, of course.
I can't feed what travel the world, start climbing the trees. I'm high on love, high on love, I'm high on love.
Yeah, so obviously there's quite a difference between that first track, our first trying out of the basic elements of the song, and the final master, which is much more fleshed out and arranged and produced, and obviously sound quality is much better, but you may also know that the tempo is higher in the master track. The lyrics are totally different and the track is much shorter in the mastered produced version. If you have a look at the length in Cubase, over here it's like 425, 430, and the final master track is 314, so quite a lot shorter. So obviously I'll put the streaming links down in the description, as well as a link to the lyric video that we did. And if you like the song, I would really appreciate it if you stream it and maybe even save it on Spotify or put it in one of your playlists so that we get a boost there. Everything helps. Okay, so now let's have a look at the individual elements of the song in the mix project. What you're seeing here is drums at the bottom, bass, strings, piano, electric guitar in green, acoustic guitar light green, and then vocals in yellow. And I have some reference tracks on top. But let's first start with what's on the stereo out, being the master bus. I'll not discuss everything, but some notable things are my Britson console emulation, which emulates a Neve console. A long-term favorite of mine is the Oxford Inflator by Sonox, which also adds a bit of analog distortion and some crispness. Then I have my external effects, compressor and an equalizer, which I actually have a separate video about, which I'll link up here. And I have the UAD tape emulation, which I like a lot to glue everything together. And another notable plugin is Bass Room, which is a plugin by Mastering the Mix, and I use that to make sure that I have the proper amount of bass in the mix. Now if you go up, you see that we have the drum part. In the beginning of the song, the drums are actually silent, and the drums only start at the first chorus with some toms. And the real full drum part starts at the second chorus. Now we've done drums in a lot of different ways with Awash. We've done the full recording in the studio, all the basic tracks, and then do overdubs later in the studio. But in this case, it's a full home production. So our drummer recorded these drums via his MIDI drum set that he used to trigger Toontrack Superior Drummer 2 with the Music City sound set, which gives a really nice crisp sound, and it's like it was recorded in a really high-end studio. Now our bass player recorded his bass part at home. He used his usual fretless bass guitar. So let's have a listen to what that sounds like in the chorus. Yeah, very steady bass. Now if we move on, I'm first going to add the acoustic guitar that our singer plays. That part was recorded over here with a Neumann KM84 mic going through my Heritage Audio 1073 clone. If we move to a bit heavier part. Now you may notice that I doubled the acoustic guitar in the chorus to get a fuller sound. I used my own acoustic guitar and doubled the part left and right. And I added a Nashville strung guitar to give it even more high-end. It's just a nice way to get some additional air on top. Now let's move on to the piano. The piano is actually playing a very thematic part from the beginning. And that part basically continues throughout the song, although he also adds some overdub parts. Yeah, it's basically an octave part of what he's playing with the other part. Now onto the guitars. There's lots of electric guitar parts, so I will not go through all of them. But again, in the beginning, there's a very thematic guitar part. then later on, starting in the chorus, it gets much more filled out and much more distorted. And then over here, another higher theme on the guitar is starting. Now to fill all of this out, I also added a bit of a string arrangement, which you can hear starting from the bridge. And this part also gets quite thematic in places. Yeah, I thought it was a really nice way to make the whole track much fuller and grander and bigger, which is really the idea. Start very small and slowly build it up to something very, very big. Now then, as for the vocal, let's have a listen to the beginning of the vocal and some later vocals.
Don't hear the noise, silence is here, love. Your mind is so much brighter, sailing through the stars.
Now at the chorus, it starts getting much bigger.
In your hand, that kind of beat might travel the world. Start climbing the trees, I'm high on love, high on love, I'm high on love.
And at the end, we go really down again to a very small piano and vocal interaction.
Don't hear the noise, silence is here, love. Your mind's so much brighter now that it's gone.
One more vocal part that I want to show you is the vocals that we added at the end, where everybody is doing, a bit of a gang vocal part. If we listen to that separately. Okay, and in the mix. Yeah, so that was a quick run through all of the tracks that are part of this mix. If you like this kind of stuff, I have a separate series about this, which details all the steps that I go through in a production for a new song of my band. And I will link that series at the end of the video. Now on to the final step of this production, which is mastering. Now for mastering of this track, we used emastering.eu again, which is a Dutch mastering studio with some really nice analog hardware. And he also mixed our previous single, Shadow or Sun, together at the same time as High on Love actually, so that the two masters could be made in a similar way, although the mix of these tracks is very different. Now if we have a listen to the master, over here you can see a Cubase project in which I have my final mix, which is the orange track, and then the master track is the gray track. And because the mastering process usually makes the track a lot louder, I've compensated for that so that you can compare them better. And obviously there is a difference, otherwise we wouldn't do the mastering. But when the tracks are played equally loud, then the difference is quite subtle and you may not even hear it on YouTube. So let's have a listen to some of the sections of the track. First the beginning.
Don't hear the noise, silence is here, love. Your mind is so much brighter, sailing through stars. Don't be afraid, won't leave you behind, girl. Your eyes are so much brighter, sailing through. And that kind of feed my travel the world. Start climbing the trees. I'm high on love, high on love. I'm high on love. 'Cause I'm taking your hands. That kind of feed what travel the world. Start climbing.
Yeah, so Me the Master track sounds crisper and yeah, somehow more finished, but I don't know whether it actually comes across on YouTube, because YouTube also compresses the audio and the differences may get lost. So again, a link to this track for all the favorite streaming platforms is in the description below, as well as a link to our video clip, so have a listen. Thanks again for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and ring the little bell icon so you know when the next video is posted. And if you have any questions about anything I showed you in this video, please let me know in the comments. See you soon.
'Cause I'm taking